Jeff Kennett is with me. We'll take calls in a moment. There are 10 helicopters over Lorne at the moment because all Oprah's army is being flown down to the 12 Apostles, or however many are left now. But will there be any golliwogs on board? You would have read this. How daffodil dogs and bears in the Block Arcade had to take a gollywog off display because it might offend Oprah.
I am 100% behind Oprah being here. I think it is wonderful for Australia. Very cheap investment. I'm so disappointed that we are so politically correct that this gollywog has got to be taken from display. I love gollywogs. My godmother made me and presented to me on my birth Jacko, who is my gollywog. I still have it. I have a basket full of gollywogs. I think gollywogs are the most repressed toys in society today, and I think that we've had to remove this poor gollywog from display is such a sign of political correctness that makes me upset. I think every gollywog should rise up as one against this political correctness.
But you don't want to offend Oprah.
Oh, no, but why is she going to be offended? Do we remove all white dolls or white gollies or whatever they are? We don't. It's just so stupid. I mean, my golly has been with me all my life. It is the only thing that has accompanied me on my 62-plus years, and I love him deeply, and I'll leave him to my son. And as I say, I have probably a collection of 30 or 40 gollywogs. I actually have gollywog toothpaste. I can't tell you how many. I've got all the Enid Blyton books. Remember how they were taken off the shelves and barred from reading because of...
No, that's because Big Ears was gay.
Well, it was a whole range of things. But it was political correctness. There's no life.
But when you look at this gollywog that's been removed, it is a stereotypical black slave woman, probably.
It's a children's toy. It's a thing of affection. You might like your daughter, your wife, I don't know. You might have a toy that you grew up with and you loved and felt strongly for and of. And I have Jacko. Next year I'll bring Jacko in. You won't only have Jeff Kennett as a commentator, you'll have Jacko as well.
But it's reported that Oprah's company, Harpo Productions, asked that they remove the gollywog in case it offended Oprah.
Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, Oprah is probably one of the 5 top personalities around the world, and most influential, right? Do you think she's going to be worried about a gollywog in a shop? I mean, it's part of life. It's
like the black and white minstrel show that caused trouble. It's the same thing. I mean, it mightn't be intended to cause offence. But weren't they good?
And we destroyed something that was good because people said, oh, that's offensive. I tell you what, Neil, it won't be long before you and I won't be able to express a view because it will offend someone. I think this is over the top. I say to the Herald Sun, who's given this a good swag on page 7 of their paper this morning, I think all gollywogs should rise up as one. I think there's got to be some sort of rebellion.
But there is a serious point to this. I am told, and look, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I am told that some black people, black Americans in particular, are quite offended by it.
Well, they shouldn't be.
Well, if they are, though, can we really understand it as
I'm
whites?
offended by some things. But does that mean that the world is going to change because Jeff Kennett is offended by something?
But that's not the point. You're in the majority. You're a white male.
I might not be for much longer, I can tell you.
Heterosexual white male. You're in the majority. You're not an oppressed minority who can take offence at these things. Well,
all right, I hear what you're saying, but, you know, we're all going to be offended by something from time to time. But you and I have discussed this before. Life is short. For goodness sake, enjoy it. Where's the sense of humour? Where can you send your affection?
You're oppressed and sold and put into slavery, that's your heritage. You lose your sense of humour about such things.
Well,
Nicky Winmar reached me on that when I remember saying, what does it matter if somebody has a go at you when you're playing footy? And remember he raised his jumper and put his skin. And he explained it to me, and he explained his heritage and his history, and I thought, well, fair enough, okay, I understand now. Channel 7, maybe your gollywogs are winning. Channel 7 has just rung in and said the gollywog is still on display.
Well, good on golly. That's all I can say. The fight back has started. Look, I understand what you're saying, and I don't mean to be offensive, but I just think we have grown up in a society that is fundamentally tolerant, right?
Yes.
We get moments of irrationality, we get moments of intolerance, and I think the community responds well to that. But that doesn't mean that the fabric of our life should be changed because 1 or 2 people are offended.
Even if it is Oprah.
Even if it's Oprah. For goodness sake, Oprah's got She's had a wonderful career. She could not have ever thought that she would have achieved as much as she had and been able to influence and bring people happiness. All I can say to her, in her life there must be room for one little gollywog.